Hi and welcome to EJ Sport. This is my Money in the Bank reaction video, and boy is it a reaction. Now, I was never expecting this, and as far as predictions go, boy, I'm glad I was wrong. I wish I'd gone with my gut instinct on a couple of them, but we'll see how it played out. The top of the card in the pre-show, I had Breezango being beaten by Golden Truth. Golden Truth won. It was a diabolical match. Didn't really get going. It was a bit poor. There you go. But let's hope that's an end to the feud, and let's hope that they do something else. Something different. Like in TNA or something. Lucha Dragons versus Dudley boys. I had Dudleys. And the Lucha Dragons won. Not sure why. Yeah, anyway. It wasn't that spectacular match either. It was kind of a bit lame. I'm going to go through the way it was advertised on the card, not the way it was shown, because otherwise it would just confuse me. Apollo Crews versus Sheamus. I had Apollo Crews. It was a good enough match, I suppose. Crews won, but he won by a roll-up, and instead of giving him some momentum, it kind of had a bit of a lackluster finish. So maybe it means that they're going to continue to do a bored Corbin thing and carry on with that on and on and on and on. Talking of bored Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler. I went with bored Corbin. Bored Corbin won. Perhaps that's the end of this story. Perhaps it's the end. It wasn't even different. There was no sort of finesse. It was the same ending. It was almost like an identical match to his last 300 matches that he's had with Dolph Ziggler. There you go. Moving on to the more entertaining matches. The Fatal 4-Way for the tag team titles. I went with the Club because I felt that the Club had to have some sort of victory in this pay-per-view. And I thought the Club would take the titles, meaning that they would have a little bit of heat going forward and a little bit of momentum. And you probably already know that that didn't happen, so it meant the Club was going to have a win somewhere this evening. But it was actually a good match. There was a little weird moment between Big E, Gallows, Anderson. Yeah, wasn't sure what that was about, but I kind of thought that, you know, New Day may retain. I did say that in my predictions, just to kind of maintain the status quo until there's a brand split. Charlotte and Dana versus Becky Lynch and Natalya. This is the one I got wrong as well. I thought that Becky Lynch and Natalya would go over. Turns out it was very much a boring match. Poor show from the women. Not a lot really else. Oh, yes, and Natalya turned heel after the match. There was no real I couldn't see. Maybe we'll learn that on Raw tonight. I guess. we'll learn more. But I didn't really see that coming at all. Anyway, Rusev versus Titus O'Neil. That was just... I went with Rusev. I got Rusev. Rusev did win. It was actually Rusev being a brilliant heel. I never expected Titus O'Neil to win at all. Even though he's Father's Day, father of celebrity father or whatever. Yeah, good. Liked it. It was a bit of a limp match from Titus O'Neil's point of view. Maybe that was what it was expected. But there you go. I didn't really expect the title to change hands. The Money in the Bank ladder match. I went with Kevin Owens because I generally thought heel might take the Money in the Bank. I thought that Dean Ambrose was too babyface, and the prospect of a fatal triple threat match was just too much of a good thing. I said in my predictions video that it would be great if Ambrose did it. Ambrose did it. I mean, oh my god, who knew that would happen? I was quite pleased, really. The match. The match was brilliant. I saw some great spots. Even some brilliant play with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I love those two. I like the friction between them. It was a very entertaining match. John Cena versus AJ Styles. Now, this was a brilliant match, except the ending. I think that as an outcome, okay, yes, it does mean that John Cena will now probably have another further 2 matches with AJ Styles, one to settle the score and one to take it in his favour. I just, it was a very good sway to and fro. I thought that they were both selling it very, very well until the whole shenanigans thing at the end with the club coming down. I didn't like the ending, but as much as it was a bit of a disappointing ending, it was a good match. Lastly but not least, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Now, how wrong was I about a lot of things? Now, had I really thought about it, and because I mentioned about the stipulation in my predictions video about whether they'd have to choose, and of course that's never going to happen, because many moons ago when you had the 2 brands in Money in the Bank, you actually had a ladder in the bank match for each individual brand. So thinking about it, it only made sense that whoever was going to win was going to cash it in, and to have it being in Dean Ambrose's hands and to have each member of the Shield hold the title at the same time at one point during the evening was awesome. Seth Rollins winning over Roman Reigns clean, wouldn't have. I mean, I guess it was part of the story, and we will be looking at perhaps a triple threat in a couple of. It probably not a battleground. It seems like a bit of a big match for something. But then again, we've had AJ Styles and Cena on Money in the Bank, so who knows? But I'd love to see that triple threat for the title at SummerSlam. But that cash-in, that was a brilliant twist. Loved it. Absolutely fantastic. I think Ambrose deserved it. I think he's really put in a lot of work in order to become where he is now. I'd like to see what happens on Raw this evening, and and I'd like to see where some of these stories are progressing. Now, wrestling, the wrestling itself as a whole, I was going to say I'm slightly split in the middle on this one. There were some great matches, and there were also some terrible matches. So I'm actually 50-50 on that. But as far as progression goes, and just that finish that really pushes the boat out for me, I'm scoring this pay-per-view an 8. Now, that's the highest score I've given for any of these pay-per-views, but I genuinely think because of that ending and the way that a couple of the matches went, it was just brilliantly done. Thanks for, it was a swerve that was well deserved, if you excuse the rhyme. Yeah, so it was an 8, but you may disagree. So let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for watching.